Hello everyone, I'm Cameron Makarchuk here with Reengineer You, Strategies Worth Implementing, and I got a great episode for you today. But before we get into that, I just wanted to remind you guys that you can watch the live episodes as they're being recorded, as I'm sitting there with the guest right in front of the computer. You can comment and ask questions and all that great stuff right from your computer as we do the interview with the special guests that we have on every single week. And to do that, to be able to watch that, either follow me on Facebook, Google Plus, or Twitter, and that's going to be some links at the end of the video. But you can find me, Facebook at Cameron Makarchuk, or Google Plus at Cameron Makarchuk, or you can follow me on Twitter at CMakarchuk. But all those links are going to be for you right at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around and watch those. Watch till the very end so you can get those links. Follow me on those social sites and follow along and stay up to date. And as always, if you like the video and you like what you see in these episodes, I'd really appreciate it if you'd share it, pass it around, like it, +1 it, tweet it, stumble it, whatever you guys like to do with your social sharing networks. Just please make sure you do that, because it really would mean a lot to me if you guys liked it, to share it and really get the word out there about what we're doing and the awesome content that we have from myself and from the people that I talk to on a weekly basis. Okay, so just make sure you do that. That would really mean a lot to me. And last thing before we get into the interview, I just want to talk really quickly about something that I have out for you guys right now. I'm really quite proud of it, and I want to just talk to you about it for one quick second before we get to the interview, and that is Extreme Fat Loss Blueprint, which you can see up above you here right now. So what Extreme Fat Loss Blueprint is it's essentially like being a client with me at my private studio. I've taken everything I do with my personal clients and wrapped it up into a nice little ball and given it to you in a website, which you can see here right now. And it's a completely comprehensive program. I've designed everything from the training programs for you, complete with video demonstrations of every single exercise that you can click right through the members area. You can watch them on your smartphone, your tablet, your computer, whatever you want. So there's no excuses. And as well as a very comprehensive nutrition program as well. So the exact same nutrition program that I've used with my clients to help them lose 20 or 30 pounds, or 50, 60, 70, some over 100+ pounds using the strategies that you're going to get in the Extreme Fat Loss Blueprint. Okay, so, and as well, there's some coaching videos in Transformation Academy. You can go ahead and watch those. You can see them right here, the transformation training, the nutrition program, and I go through, they're each about 30 minutes long, and I essentially go through everything that I talk about with my personal clients. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. It's a really great product, very comprehensive, and takes you through every step of the way from where you are today to losing 20, 30, 40 pounds, or even as much as 70, 80, or 100+ pounds, because I've had everywhere in between. So it is by far the perfect program for you if that's what you're looking for. And everything's right there for you. So go to extremefatlossblueprint.com to check out more information on that and to see an inspirational story of one of my personal clients who lost over 103 pounds using this exact system. So make sure you check that out at extremefatlossblueprint.com. So without further ado, let's get into today's episode of Reengineer You, Strategies Worth Implementing. Hello everyone, and welcome to Reengineer You, the show where we talk to some of the world's finest experts in the world of body and lifestyle transformation to bring you the finest information in the world in terms of fat loss, nutrition, lifestyle, body transformation, and all to answer the one question of what is the one thing that you guys can change today that will have the biggest impact on your transformation. And I'm your host, Cameron Makarchuk, Master Transformation Coach, and I'm joined today with a very special guest, a good friend of mine that I've known for a few months now, doing some really awesome things in the world of fitness and fat loss, and some really unique ways of approaching all that with my friend Kate. And I forgot to ask you how to pronounce your last name, Vidulich, is that right? I meant to ask you that before we started.
Yeah. It's
right,
Vidulich. Everyone goosed it up. When I was back in school, I was like the biggest joke because the teachers could never say my name.
Really? You know what? I have the same problem. My name is Makarchuk, and everyone pronounces it wrong. It's terrible. So, but
it's a unique thing about us. We get our names mixed up.
Exactly. I always take it as a compliment anyway, so.
Yeah. Hey.
So Kate, how's it going with you? What have you been up to?
Awesome. Well, I've just been working my butt off, basically, and enjoying some of the summertime here in New York. So, like Cam said, I'm originally from Australia, so I moved over here nearly 4.5 years ago. And so I've been working in the city in my own private training business for the last about 2.5 years now. So been working on that and also on my online business, Battle Accelerators.
Awesome, awesome, good stuff. So you do some personal training in New York, right? That's what you said.
Oh,
And
yes, it's private training. It's
private training.
no, I'm in the Upper East Side, so a lot of people, it's one-on-one training. There are groups, but I've really focused my niche on just doing one-on-one training.
Okay.
And I still, I know a lot of people are saying go to groups and train in groups, but my clientele really like the one-on-one attention.
Yeah, yeah, I know that's kind of a big, kind of trendy thing right now is going to, small groups and 2 people at a time or 3 people at a time or more. Like I know I think we may talk about this a little bit too, but like at my studio, that's what we do. We have some small group training, like the 2 or 3 people, more customized approach, and then we also do some bigger stuff also. But it works well for some people and works in some areas and doesn't work so well in other areas. And I think if you can make the one-on-one stuff work, that's awesome. Because it does kind of heighten your service and give you a really good offering and a really high quality service that you're doing out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think people get great results if it's a one-on-one training session and it's just you and them, and you can work really hard. And I think as long as the person that you work with, you guys mesh with personalities and goals and ideas of training, then I think people get some great results. So
yeah,
I like it. I mean, again, it's just the personality match. It's got to just work. Otherwise, it can be the worst hour of your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. I completely agree. And I used to do one-on-one training a lot back when I first started. And you're absolutely right. Like if you don't have someone that is a personality match with you and kind of clashes personality, it can be a long, long session and a long month
when
too.
When I first started out, and you're at the gym and you've got to just take every single client you can get. It was really painful some of those hours, but
yeah,
oh well,
absolutely.
You get past that.
Yeah.
You learn.
Yeah, exactly. So in your kind of in the time you've been doing that, do you find you work with a specific type of person, or are you kind of working with a bunch of different people now, or who do you work more with?
I've really nailed in my niche to being females. A lot of them are age range between 45 and 65, and
Okay.
a lot of I'm not kidding. Like I have a 63-year-old client who's in damn awesome shape. She can do burpees. She can do jump rope. She can run. It's the age of the people means nothing, but what really matters is their willingness to try. That's I think the first important thing, and just also their intensity when they train, and just learning the differences between it. Because, like I said, most of the women that I train are not spring chickens. They're not kids. They've most of them have gone through menopause or are about to, and it's just been really important to teach them to train with the right intensity and match that with eating the right stuff at the right times. So that's been my primary bunch of clients I work with. I also have, it's not all chicks, I do have some guys. And but I think, a lot of the guys in New York, most of them are like finance dudes or hedge fund guys. And initially I didn't really mesh very well with those guys because I thought they were really insane. Not that there's anything wrong with that, they just didn't work. They didn't want to listen to what I had to say. All right, now they changed their mind. I'm getting more guys on board. I've got maybe 25% of my client base is guys now. So they're coming into the game. But most of them are in their 50s. Again, they play golf and maybe they don't want to lose fat, but they end up losing fat because they're with me, and that's just how I roll.
Yeah.
So
I imagine those guys, like all the hedge fund guys and those type of people, are very type A driven type of personalities, and I guess it's kind of meshing better with them would come with more confidence in what you're doing and approaching them with more confidence and being, as you get in your career and learning more stuff and more confident what you're doing, that would probably come along with why you've been meshing better with those guys now, right?
Yeah, I think that, but also, the women are a bit tougher than the guys, to be honest with you.
Really?
They, if you're not confident with the women, they will eat you alive.
Yeah, that's
true.
So
I just started with more women because they wanted to train with a girl, a lot of them, and so I was kind of the go-to. And I didn't really, the guys want to train at 6 a.m. or 8 p.m. They work, so there was a time of the day, that morning hour where the women come in and the mothers and that kind of stuff. So I think it was just where I was scheduled to start with. And I think training those women initially really helped me to build my confidence with my training, because it didn't really come down to my lack of confidence. It was more just not meshing with that certain personality type.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's really important when finding the right trainer.
Yeah.
Not only offline, but online as well. Just finding the right person that complements your personality, because some people want to be driven into the ground, like these hedge fund guys wanted to be. And I'm like, this is not a smart thing to do. You're going out, you're going to go drink a gazillion liters of wine, and then you're going to eat steak. And you're going to stay really fat, because it doesn't matter what you do in the gym. Once you've got that fat, you have to really change your diet, or it's not going to work.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I completely agree. And that's a good point. I work with a lot of women too, and yeah, you're right. You do have to be very, very stern and very confident with women too. Otherwise, they will just eat you alive.
Yeah, literally, there was this one woman. She's actually now my best client, who's been one of my most successful transformation stories. But initially, none of the other trainers could handle this woman. She was just so, asking so many questions and wondering what was going to work. But in the end, once she trusted me, and that's the other thing, trusting the person that you're working with. Otherwise, there's no point. It's like a relationship. You have to have trust and faith that, you follow the plan and stick with the program, and you'll see the results. But if you miss that, then you definitely, you're on the wrong track already, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's a really good point too. And so now, when you're working with women and stuff like that, I always like to drill this point home with females that come on the show, and also trainers in general that work with women. You must do a lot of strength training with your female clients, right, and get them really great fat loss results. So maybe talk about that. How do you approach your women clients who maybe are still in that mindset of wanting to just run a lot, or be on the elliptical a lot, or do a lot of cardio to lose that fat? How do you approach that, and what are some of the changes that you do with your clients for that?
Well, with the strength training, I mean, initially one of the greatest concerns people have when I want to give them a big dumbbell is that they're, oh my God, I'm going to bulk up, it's too heavy. So I really start out by just getting people to do some body weight training, because your body weight, if you can't move your body weight, you really don't have any business lifting any other kind of weight if you can't move your body just by itself, because you can definitely get great effects from doing body weight training. And it's just a good spot for people to start when they're getting off the elliptical. But, in terms of strength training, I think, doing body weight stuff initially, and just training all those big movement patterns, so you burn a ton of calories, you hit maximum amount of muscles, and obviously create that afterburn effect to help burn more calories after you train. But, it's just important to teach people about how it's important to build your lean muscle mass and get stronger. Not necessarily say build, because when you say build, people freak. But just getting stronger and having that goal of, okay, I can't do one push-up right now, but in a month's time, hey, I can do 3, or just little things like that that really help people to build their confidence so that they don't feel afraid. Because half the time, you go to the elliptical or you go to the treadmill because it's easy. You get to the gym and you're like, what am I going to do today? Well, the elliptical's free, and there's a television on it, and there's a treadmill that's free. It's easy to get on a treadmill and run, and I was a sucker for it as well. I was a total sucker for the treadmill and for the elliptical, because I thought, oh, well, I'll just go burn 300 calories and I'll go home and eat whatever I like. And once, I think, not only myself, but then with my clients, when they shift away from doing those intervals or the half an hour on the bike or the elliptical, when you get off and start just doing timed intervals of certain bodyweight exercises and circuits, you really see how much it can kick your butt in a very short space of time. So that's kind of the first thing I did with clients was, get them to do, say, like 30 seconds of squats followed by a 30-second rest. And then just cycle through bodyweight exercises that really get their heart rate up, jumping jacks and jump squats and total body extensions. Obviously, people who aren't injured. Getting them to just do these bodyweight moves that gets your heart rate up really high and creates an effect similar to cardio. So they feel like, oh, wow, I did something really hard, even though it wasn't that same exact run on the treadmill.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, and something that we do too. Like, it's a good point that you made back, and I think people should really remember that you start with body weight, and you start people with body weight exercises, so that because if you can't move your body weight and you can't do body weight squats, then why would we put extra weight on you, right? To do more squats or more exercises with extra weight if you can't handle your body weight. So I think that's a really good point that people should really focus on if they're not working with a trainer, they're doing stuff on their own, to be able to do body weight exercises first, and like those circuits that you were just saying, the body weight squats and total body extensions and things like that. Like those are tough. They look very simple, but they can be very tough exercises when you limit the rest time and you do it in that structure like what you just described.
Oh, absolutely. And that's actually the way that you can get people to bring more intensity to their workouts without realizing it at that time, because you can keep pushing to get one more rep out. You know, instead of just doing, say, 10 burpees or 10 push-ups, if you say, okay, do as many as you can in 30 seconds, 45 seconds, whatever the time frame is, that's when it really gets to the point, you know, you get to your normal limit that you'd say you can do, and then you're like into that kind of, that's where the champions are made, that zone where it's all in and getting as many out as you can and really pushing the limit. So it's not so much, okay, I'll just go and do my workout. It's like, okay, I'm going to work out to get strong, to get fit, and, you know, having your A game with you, bringing the right attitude to kick butt rather than just coming along for a happy little chat.
Yes.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, chatting is fine. I actually chat to people, I entertain them. It's like nurturing people through tough workouts. You can't just be a total ass. You have to know, okay, at times when it's time to slow up and time to stop and time to really push hard. But, you know, that's all just structuring the workout. And with these types of circuits, structuring them so that you don't hit that same muscle group for two intervals in a row, I mean. So, you know, I think that's why when you do the intervals on the treadmill, you're running every single interval, right? You're hitting your legs. Your upper body's totally missing out. So there's a lot of lost opportunity, I think, because if you're doing a circuit or, say, a round of push-ups, that's actually really hard and gets your heart rate up because you're going down to the floor, you're coming back up, you're getting this metabolic flush from your legs, upper body, back down. And that's when you start breaking into a sweat. Like when you get down on the ground and do some mountain climbers, even in the middle of winter, you're going to be breaking a sweat.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's
even
a
in
good point.
Winnipeg.
Even I don't know. You got to be working pretty hard to work up a sweat in Winnipeg in the winter.
Come on, you guys have heating.
we do, and it's cranked in the winter.
Yeah, it would want to be. If I ever go there, I want to have like a insulated bubble.
I don't know if you could survive up here coming from Australia though, with that heat down there.
I think I'd be too. I'm scared thinking about flying there.
You'll have to come up here in the winter sometime just to experience it.
Yeah, so I can tick it off the list. I survived.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bucket list sort of thing. Coming to Winnipeg in the winter.
Funny.
So now let's talk. So we were talking about the circuits a little bit, and I think those are awesome. And I've been doing some of those in my workouts. I do those a lot with my clients too. So, and I know you're kind of taking things to the next level with those circuits and those fat loss accelerators that you call them. So maybe talk about that, what you've been doing in the online world with that, and how you're kind of packaging all of that stuff up for people now.
Yeah, sure thing. So when I first created these fat loss accelerators, it was something I used myself, and I was, you know, in a period where I was stuck on a plateau after losing, you know, a solid 30 pounds. That's a whole nother story, but when I first started testing these complexes, these metabolic complexes, it was really something that I found to just train my body in a totally different way than any other interval training or cardio workout I'd ever done. And it was just a lot less time. So the way these types of circuits are set up, these complexes, is you're basically using one resistance. So it's worked like a charm in New York, basically because you only need a really small amount of space. You don't need any machines. All you need is one weighted resistance. So ideally, you know, you could use a barbell, you could use a pair of dumbbells, you could use some kettlebells. It's just one weighted resistance, and basically you go through, you know, I normally do like 4 to 6 exercises. It really depends where you're at. If you're a beginner, you obviously start out with something that's just three moves back to back, but you're basically hitting these major movement patterns back to back to back without any rest. So, for example, you would start off with like a squat, and then you'd move into, say, like an overhead press, like a push press. Then you go into like a bent over row. Then you could add in like a one-legged move, so say an alternating reverse lunge. Then you dive into some kind of ab exercise or a conditioning exercise. So that'd be like a solid base for a complex that you could just use that one weighted resistance and slam out 5, 6 exercises and then take a rest break. And that's something else I say to people is really important, is taking a rest break and making sure that by that time you need to take a rest break. Because if you don't lift heavy enough weight, you're going to do this circuit and think it was a piece of cake. And that's not the right way to do these kind of things. And I can tell when my clients, when I've given them a too light a weight, because I mean, initially you want to start with something a little lighter. You don't want to overshoot the first time because you're going to hate the whole workout, and I don't want you to hate it. It's effective. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be really challenging and test your mental toughness and create, like I said, that need to take a break. And taking that rest break gives you a chance to then come back into the next round and bring that intensity again, so that you continue burning lots of calories and you're using every single muscle in your body to help you burn more fat, and, like I said, continuing that afterburn effect, which boosts your metabolism for hours and just makes you feel really leaner and stronger. So that's kind of how, say, a Phallus Accelerator workout is set up. And my clients enjoy doing them basically because they're different. It's something new to try. They got bored with the interval training. Hell, I got bored with interval training. It is effective for fat loss. It's just, it's hard getting on the treadmill and sprinting, or being on the bike and sprinting, and no matter how many ways you change it up, people are looking for something different and a new way that's going to help them to accelerate their results and save them a ton of time, because everyone is jammed for time these days, Cam. It's
yeah.
There's no time for run. I mean, I don't know where I found time to go running so much. And in the end, all that cardio just makes you end up skinny fat and feel exhausted and tired. And it's just one of those things, once you break out and try something different and see the results of being just better conditioned and having that transfer as well to your lifting. So, it looks like a bunch of resistance training exercises, and people have said, hey, this is just like my resistance training program. The thing is that you're lifting that lighter weight, so it's conditioning. It's not all strength. Mm-hmm. So you definitely have a different body, which complements your program, and it's complemented. It's been one of those things you can add into your program. So instead of this being a brand new program to transform your life, it's just something to add in and spice up your conditioning days to accelerate your results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a good point, and it's and that's where I found the most benefits out of these types of like complexes and accelerators, like what you put together here, is like I use them with some of my clients as either as finishers to finish off their workout. I'll do some complexes with them there with a sandbag or kettlebells or whatever, and just crush them into oblivion at the end of the workout, or I'll tell them to do something like that on their own, outside of the gym too, or have them doing it as an off-day workout. And because it's really super effective as that too, like you were saying, like picking a light, medium to light weight like that, and just pounding through as hard as you can through 4, 5, or 6 exercises, and just giving it your all on your off day. It's a super good off day workout too. So
yeah, and a big time saver. Like I said, it's you don't need a bunch of equipment. All you need is to know exactly what to do. Go with your list, go with your exercises, have it written down, know how to do the moves, and you just go straight into it, and you can be done like in a really short amount of time and still get that great metabolic effect, which is what it's all about.
Yeah, complexes are kind of the king of the metabolic training, I think, because you can do so much work in such little time and with very little equipment. Like just one piece of equipment is all you need. So it's complexes are great.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, you don't have to tell me. I love this stuff. It's just really fun. It's great. It's great to experiment with different ways of doing it, and just great to see clients get great results from doing these kinds of workouts and enjoying it at the same time. Because you know what? I don't think everyone really enjoys running on the treadmill, particularly if there's bad TV shows.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And so you have a big launch coming up here, right? This video will launch on Monday or Tuesday of next week, so which I think coincides with when you're launching your new and updated product. So when is that happening?
Sure. So that's happening on Tuesday, and we actually have a really cool special offer for the Tuesday, which is the bunch of done-for-you accelerators. It's not me doing them for you, but I'm going to be doing them with you. They're follow-along videos with me showing you how to do the accelerators. It's not just watch, it's watch and do. So you can get involved and do it as well. But it's going through some body weight accelerators and also some dumbbell complexes that I've used for people who are traveling. I've used them myself when traveling, and it's a special offer for that Tuesday, the 30th of July. So that's the fast action bonus for the first day if you pick up the program, which is really fun. It's really fun to make these, even though we nearly kill ourselves because we do all the accelerators like back to back. It's if you want to have some fun, do all of them at once. Don't do that. Honestly, in all truthfulness and seriousness, it says in the program ones you can add in for a conditioning workout on the off day, and ones that are better to add into your workout that you can either add to the beginning, like as an appetizer, or you can also use them as a finisher. But I find that some of these accelerators are good to start with to get you cranking and get the blood flowing for the rest of your strength training.
Awesome, awesome. Well, yeah, like I said, this will go up probably on Monday or Tuesday. So if you're watching this on Monday, wait until tomorrow, and then I'll post some links down here. It'll probably be something like reengineeryou.com/fat loss accelerators, I imagine is what the link will be. And so make sure you go there on Tuesday, which will be tomorrow if you're watching this on Monday. Or if it's on Tuesday and you're watching, then you can just go there right now after you're done watching this video and go pick up Kate's fat loss accelerators, because they are awesome. And complexes are king. So if you want to burn a lot of fat and in less time, definitely you want to be adding some complexes into your training program and do them on some off days or after your workouts or whatever, like Kate was saying. So yeah, like I said, we'll have a link set up for you guys for that, which will be likely, and I'll put it probably right here underneath the video, and reengineeryou.com/fat loss accelerators to go pick up that. So, Kate, where else can people find out about you other than the Fat Loss Accelerators? What are you doing over on the online world?
You can come and find me on Facebook and Twitter. There's YouTube. I'd really recommend you go to YouTube and check out Fat Loss Accelerators because we put up some really awesome videos. It's either in New York or it's wherever I'm traveling. We've got some awesome workouts and great people that I meet. So there's also a bunch of cool exercises you can try and variations. So the YouTube channel is probably one of the best places to go to. But I'm on Facebook as well with the rest of the world. And obviously there's my website and my blog at fatlossaccelerators.com, which you can go to from a link that Cam will post. But there's lots of great stuff there as well that can help you with your training and just to help you accelerate your results.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, I will definitely post all those links right below the video here so people can go check that out. So yeah, YouTube Fat Loss Accelerators, Facebook Fat Loss Accelerators, and Google Fat Loss Accelerators, LinkedIn Fat Loss Accelerators, whatever else you guys do. Do whatever it is. Just search for Fat Loss Accelerators on there, and Kate's probably there doing awesome stuff. So, all right. So one last thing, Kate, before we close up, I always ask everyone, what is the one biggest thing, the one thing that people can focus on this week that will have the biggest impact on their transformation? What would you say for that?
I would say the one thing that you need to do is bring intensity to your workouts. If there's nothing else you take away today, it's just bring intensity and do it smart. So on days where you feel that your body is worn and exhausted or you're ridiculously stressed, they're probably not the right days to work out at all. When you go and train, just make every second count. And if you follow the plan and you do it properly, there's no reason to not get the results. It's just about doing it with intensity. And you know yourself when you're slacking off and when you take it easy and you're taking a rest break you shouldn't take, or you feel that you're not in the zone, make sure that you get yourself in the zone. Have some coffee. That's really good to get you in the zone. But always just bring intensity. And whatever it is you want to do, just go for it. Don't, if you just want to reach a certain goal, just put your head down and just go for it.
Awesome. So very good. What's it?
That's the number one.
Yeah. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Very good advice. Yeah. So always bring intensity, and yeah, coffee is great. I like having a couple shots of espresso myself before my workouts, and that usually helps bring slightly more intensity to my workouts than had I not had that. So, so yes, definitely recommend that before your workouts. And so yeah, bring the intensity. You heard it from Kate herself, Miss Fat Loss Accelerator herself, straight out of New York City. So that's it for this episode of Reengineer You. As always, if you like the episode, definitely tweet it, like it, share it, Google Plus it, stumble upon it, LinkedIn it, whatever you guys are doing. Just get it out there because there's a lot of great information, especially this episode with Kate talking about some female fat loss tips and talking about complexes and all the great stuff she's doing. So definitely get this out there to the world. People got to know. So tweet it, share it, like it, plus it, whatever. Just get it out there. So that's it for today. I'm going to let Kate go. And definitely check out
Thanks so much for having me on board. I really appreciate it.
No problem, Kate. It's great to have you here, as always. And so, yes, definitely check out her program, reengineeryou.com/fat loss accelerators. And that's it. We'll see you guys in the next episode.